working grid system, right, that allows us to hide and show different columns as we resize, right? So let's reuse that to implement this page, right? The website list page, so that we can show different columns as we resize. All right. Okay. So let's copy the content. Well, let's grab this. And let's go to the website list that we have implemented here. Where are you? Here. This list. This list over here. A list of websites. Right. So like what I like to be able to do is show different columns as it becomes bigger and smaller. So let's go there. Website list. And right now the only row that we've been playing around is this first row, right? So let's what we can do is copy and paste that div that we had earlier, and decide what is that we want to show in each one. Definitely we don't want colors, so let's remove these colors. Right. And the first column, it would be a great place to put our a link for the website. So let's do that. Let's paste it in there. Okay. This one here, where it has the pull right, the cog, would be a nice place to put it, maybe as the last column. So let's remove that and put it here. In the last column over here. Right. What about the other two columns? Well, what we could do is maybe put here content for when it was originally created, right? And maybe when it was last updated. That's a good thing, right? So let's put span here, or we can just put the text here. We can say 1/1/2017. It was created and it was last updated 2017. Yes? So if we go back and refresh and make this a little bigger, right? Notice that indeed they are appearing, and they can appear and disappear as the screen gets smaller. Right? So it is behaving somewhat the way we want it. Perhaps these are numbers, and you might want them to justify to the right or justify to the left. I'll leave that up to you. Also, the sizing, the relative sizing. Notice that we have this big space on the right-hand side, and not enough space maybe on the left-hand side. So you might decide that the relative size here is not what we want. Maybe the glyphicon is 1 unit is enough, right? We might decide that, and then we need to decide what to do with the other 2 units, right? Where do we put them? We might decide that we're just going to increase and give it all to the name of the website, right? So we're going to increase that by 2, each one of these. So 5, this is 8, and 11. Notice that at all times it adds up to 12, right? So if we refresh, notice that everything shifted a little bit to the right because I've given 2 of the units from the cog. I've given them to the name website name, and there we go, and they disappear. Right, everybody okay? Oops, something's wrong there. It wrapped, and we know how to fix wrapping, right? We already know how to fix wrapping. All right, so what else could we do here? One idea that some of the students gave me is that they asked for permission, is that a title would be nice to have above this, right? So one easy way to create titles is to reuse this exact same code, right, for the line item. You can grab that, and we can paste it as the very first element of this, right? If we do that, you'll notice that now we have 2 rows that look exactly the same, right? But let's see, this one is not a hyperlink. The first one is not going to be a hyperlink. Instead, is going to have something like name, the name of the website. Yes. This will be perhaps the created, when it was created. This is when it was accessed, as in last access. And the last one, we're not going to have anything. It'll be just empty, right? So there we have something that behaves fairly similar to how a table would behave, right? Where you have columns and they're all nicely lined up with one another. One other thing you might want to add is that you can invert the color of that first row so that it looks like an actual heading, right? So that notice that active is a very common class in Bootstrap, right? That highlights that particular row, that particular line item, that particular element, right? And it inverts it and gives it contrast, right? To highlight it against other similar elements. Everybody okay? Right. Other stylings that we might decide is maybe the headings here. Right. So notice that we're done with styling the heading of this line item. We might want to style the heading of the headers and the footers, right? And we'll do that in a different video.